Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Before we jump right in, I just want to say if you got family out in California, South California, or you're out there, just be careful, and we're definitely praying for you. This weekend, they got hit with a tropical storm and an earthquake, and they're saying with the tropical storm, Hillary we've yet to see the worst of it so far. It says dumps over 6 inches of rain across Southern California. So if you have family out there, give them a call and continue to pray for our family members out in Cali.
And they had an earthquake yesterday, right?
Yeah, earthquake.
My partners out there say they don't trip off earthquakes in California unless it's 7 or better.
Yeah, this was a 5.
A 5 something. I'm like, that would scare the hell out of me.
Scared me as well.
I guess when you used to it and built for it, it don't bother you.
Yeah. Now what else we got, Tez? I see there's some updates with the young 10-year-old boy that got put in jail for peeing on the back of his mom's car, right?
Yeah, we talked about this last week, and there's a update on it, which to me, it makes the situation even worse. Mississippi Police Department is defending an officer's decision to refer the 10-year-old boy to youth court after he was spotted peeing behind his mother's car. Now, they did acknowledge an error in judgment for transporting the child to jail. The police chief said that officers can refer children as young as 10 to youth court if they are deemed in need of supervision, which is determined if they commit acts that would be identical for an adult under identical circumstances. A officer personally witnessed this 10-year-old child committing an act in public, which would have been illegal for an adult under these circumstances, what the police chief said. But again, the key word is adult. The officer did not observe a parent on the scene, so that is why they took him to jail. Now, this is the part that I want you to pay close attention to. They are apologizing for an error in judgment on how he went to jail, but not apologizing for the fact that they felt he should have went to jail. The police chief said that there was a reasonable alternative to get the boy to the police station. So he's saying, you should have let his mom take him to the police station, not the fact that he should have not been arrested, which is still, crazy as hell to me.
Nobody in Mississippi sees this as wrong, as crazy, that a 10-year-old peed on the back of a tire because he had to go to the bathroom. Nobody else sees this as crazy?
Yeah, I didn't know they'd take you to youth court for offenses like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't know they take adults to court for offenses like that. Because in my mind, if I'm a cop and I saw someone peeing outside, even if it's illegal, that's nothing I would waste my time.
It's usually a ticket. I usually give them a ticket.
I wouldn't even give you that, especially after you just peed because you ain't wash your hands. So I'm not going to interact with you in that way. But my thing is, if I saw you peeing outside, I wouldn't waste my time on that, taking you to jail.
A 10-year-old kid?
Right. Like, what's wrong with just telling a 10-year-old, educate him, hey, son, that's illegal to do. Don't do that. But again, looking at 10-year-olds, particularly black boys, are seen as adults. Just to give you some stats, black youth are approximately 14% of the total youth population, but 47.3% of youth are transferred to adult court by juvenile court judges who believe the youth cannot benefit from the services of the youth court. In 2016 alone, black youth were 8.5 times more likely than white youth to be tried as adults. Latino kids were almost 3 times as likely. So this is not just something we're making up in our heads. Seeing children as adults, the chief specifically pointed out, we would have taken an adult to jail for this, so why not him? And that is the problem with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything Tez is saying is true, but also the cops in Mississippi clearly don't have anything better to do.
Nah, that's
crazy. There's no way you taking a 10-year-old in for peeing outside, or anybody in for peeing outside. Unless they was peeing on somebody's property or something. You know what I mean?
Still, but even your superior, when you get back to the station, he's not gonna be like, "Well, what are you doing, bro?" This.
You want to fill out all this paperwork and somebody was peeing outside?
This is crazy.
That's my biggest thing.
Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is front page news. Now get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Let us know how your weekend was. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Teslin Figueroa is back. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Tez.
Now let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Florida and cockroach spray.
Okay, well, before I do this, what do you say about Florida, Charlamagne?
The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida.
All right. A Florida woman allegedly spiked a man's drink with Raid roach spray after the pair met at a local bar. Volusia County Sheriff's Office said the 29-year-old Veronica Klein has been charged with drink poisoning. The deputies were called to her home around 4:30 a.m., where they met the man who had become ill. He said he came home with her after, I guess they met at the club, and she asked him to continue drinking with her. He had 2 drinks, began feeling sick, and then she allegedly admitted to him that she spiked his drinks with the roach spray.
What?
The sheriff's office said that the victim told deputies that he was vomiting for about 30 minutes before he called for help, and he had become sick again while he was actually giving his statement. Now, she wasn't at home when they found her, and a law enforcement K-9 unit tracked her down, and she was taken into custody. And if you want to see what that looks like, they do have the video showing what a pleasant experience that was for the K-9 dog to track her down. The officer was concerned if she was bit by the dog, and took her into custody, and she's alive and well and will be charged.
Well, what happened? How does the conversation go from let's have a drink to I'm going to put some Raid in your reposado? Like, how did that happen?
I have no idea.
Lord have
I have no idea.
Yeah, was she trying to rob him? Was she trying to kill him? Because they just met. Nobody knows?
Nobody knows. And just saying that's just what she did. And I thought it was interesting that she admitted to him, like, hey, yeah, I put some some roach spray. So I don't know what's going on. If that was just some, I don't know.
Roach spray is strong, though, because you would smell it. Like, roach spray is very strong. Like, that's the drink I would be like, you know what? I'm not going to have this drink. Like, because roach spray is strong. Yeah,
what the hell did he order that he ain't spelled it? He didn't smell the roach spray, as he was sipping it.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So I guess this was at her home. So I don't know if he, maybe she put something in the straw. I have no idea. Again, this goes back to just what you say. This is Florida. So that's just the only explanation that I can give on this story.
Now let's talk New York City and asylum seekers.
Yep, New York City wants to house migrants at a closed federal prison that once jailed mobsters. Now, that's not the only location that the city is considering to bring these migrants to. So let's take a listen to the report, talk about it on the other side.
We got an update from the city this afternoon. We're told over 101,000 migrants have arrived in New York City since this crisis began, and that number continues to go up. We are just simply out of space. The city's deputy mayor for communications holding a news conference outside of the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan Friday, a site that has reached capacity for migrants.
We're appreciative of what the governor and the state have done, but we need more.
He says over 101,000 migrants are now in New York City, and 59,000 are living in 202 emergency shelters across the 5 boroughs, with hundreds still coming in every day.
Yeah, so there's certainly an issue going on there in New York. They are suggesting that they go to the Jacob Center, Sunny dormitories, and prisons like the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan, which closed in 2021 following Jeffrey Epstein's suicide. But the New York City Immigration Coalition says that the MCC is not a suitable location for anybody, let alone someone that's trying to set up a new life in a new country. So again, certainly a migrant issue that New York is having a hard time maintaining.
What are the conditions of this federal prison now? Is it still built like a prison?
Still built like a prison. Yeah. They're saying it's not a place for anybody to go in general.
Yeah, I would think so.
Where do they send these people? So
yeah, if I'm seeking some sort of freedom, I don't
want to go to jail.
The last place I would want to be is in a prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people mad at Eric Adams. They believe that he should be here. He took I think like a 3-day trip or 4-day trip to Israel. They said to learn more about the Jewish culture, and people are upset about that. They're saying that he should be here dealing with all these asylum seekers and all these
he should be here doing
migrants.
His job.
Yeah, that's what people are upset about. All right, well, that is Front Page News.
All right, and listen, make sure you subscribe to Tesla Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow Tesla Figaro on all social media platforms at Tesla Figaro.
All right. Now, when we come back, we got actors Jason Mitchell and Barton Fitzpatrick. You know them from The Chi, and of course, they got their own flick on Tubi right now called Everything Is Both, and we're going to talk to both of them when we come back, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.